Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager, Season 4, Episode 12, The Mortal Coil. This is usually considered to be one of, the great episodes, but to me, I don't know, I didn't feel it. I'm going to kind of work through my feelings with you guys and talk about it. First of all, we see Naomi Wildman, who, this is the first time that she's actually been named, that we hear the name Naomi, and I don't know how old she is, which they kind of get away with it, so it's okay, because she was born at the end, or the very beginning of Season 2, even though technically that episode, if I remember correctly, was filmed for Season 1. So we're about halfway through Season 4, so all of Season 2, all of Season 3, so she should be 2.5 years old, maybe 3 years old. To me, she looks like she's about 5, so it kind of bothered me a little bit. We're kind of going back to the Alexander thing, where Molly O'Brien is one of the few characters that we actually saw her age and it made sense, whereas Alexander, the first time we see him, he's supposed to be 2 and he's 7, and then he's supposed to be 18 and he's in his 20s. So for Naomi, she should be about 2 or 3, and to me she looked like she was about 5, but she is only half human and half whatever her dad was. And so I guess you could kind of make it okay, fine, she's aging a little bit faster. But I think it's interesting that it took them 2 years to kind of bring her back and give her a name. So this episode's mostly about Neelix and how Neelix is Naomi's godfather, and he's telling her stories to put her to bed and clearing out all the scary monsters under the bed. Neelix kind of talks to Seven for some great scenes where the Kazon is species 329, which I loved. I need to do some research and actually see all of the Borg species numbers because I'm really curious. I haven't done it yet, but I'm really interested in it. So Neelix ends up going on an away mission with Chakotay and Paris to collect a sample, and Neelix ends up dying. And by the time the shuttle gets back, he's been dead for 18 hours. And Seven is oh no, we can revive him, this is no big deal. And she uses her Borg technology and whatever, and Neelix comes back to life. And for most of this episode, it's just kind of Neelix dealing with that. He was dead, but he never saw his family. He never, went to what we know of as, heaven or hell. It was just black. He didn't do anything. And it's it poses those questions, what happens when we die? Now, for me, personally, I guess I would say I'm agnostic. I definitely believe in some sort of a higher power, but I don't necessarily know about some of the rules and stuff like that with the Bible and stuff like that. I have a lot of issues with it. And so it's interesting to see episodes like this. To me, the best portrayal of heaven and stuff like that was actually the movie What Things May Come, or What Dreams May Come, with Robin Williams, where he can actually paint it himself and stuff like that, and where hell is not just fire and brimstone, it's actually psychological torture and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I think of heaven and hell. And do I think that when we die it's just darkness? No, I think there is something after that, but it would make sense that even though Neelix was gone for 18 hours, that he doesn't remember any of it. I'm totally fine, I can buy that. But overall, watching Neelix come to terms with it, it's a heartbreaking episode because he can't do it. And he just doesn't see the point in life anymore if there's no reward or punishment at the end. And sure enough, we kind of get to the end of the episode where Neelix is about to kill himself. He's about to beam himself out into space. And Ensign Wildman shows up and she's I've been looking everywhere for you. Naomi needs her bedtime story. And that's what kind of snaps Neelix out of it. And he ends up staying and kind of dealing with his inner demons. So I'm kind of curious what you guys think about this. What do you guys think about heaven? What do you guys think about hell? What happens after you die? There's, tons of science fiction about it. There's tons of stories about it, and we could talk about it all day long because you can't necessarily prove anything. There's even people who say they've been places and then they get revived, but then that comes up to was it a dream? Was it your neurons or whatever? So I'm curious what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time for Waking Moments.